Had to buy my mama a new crib, then buy my little bitch some new heels. Yeah, that's what they mad for. Yeah, cause I'm getting cash, huh? Yeah, and I'm in my bag, huh? Yeah.
Hi guys, so we are going to do a drive with me car chit chat vlog, whatever you want to call it. So basically, I'm on my way to work. I work Saturday and Sunday this weekend. It's my weekend to work, but usually as part-time, my weekend is supposed to be Friday and Saturday, but for whatever reason they keep pulling me off of my Friday and putting me on Sunday, which I hate because I have class Monday. So I literally get off of work Sunday or Monday morning, and then I can only get a couple hours of sleep because then I have to turn around and go to class. So whatever, it is what it is. But anyways, I wanted to update you guys on this Pharm class. So I don't know if I ever told you guys that I was struggling in Pharm. I think I have told you guys this prior to this vlog, but pharmacology has not been going good for your girl. At one point I was failing like all of my classes except nursing theory, which I'm still killing it in nursing theory. That's like my easiest class. But anyways, I am now passing all of my classes except Pharm. So it gets really frustrating because Pharm is technically what, 17, well technically a 16-week class, but we're in class for 17 weeks because the first week is like week 0, and it's just like introductions. Who are you? What specialty do you work in? Blah blah blah. Respond to people, you know, all the fluff stuff. So technically it's 17 weeks, but really 16 weeks worth of assignments, but we only have 5 grades. Yeah, so 16 weeks, 5 grades. It's real easy to fall off track and real easy to fail if you do not stay on top, if you do not stay on your game, right? So my first test, I bombed it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't know where she's pulling questions from. Like I don't understand how her notes are not equating to what was on the test, and like the book is way over my head. You can tell that this class is not geared towards nurse practitioners. It is just a pharmacology class in general for whoever needs a graduate level pharmacology class. And so that goes for pharmacist majors, pharmacy. I don't know if pharmacy techs need a graduate class. Maybe if you are trying to become a pharmacist, you need it. I don't really know how that works, but whether you are a doctor, whatever the case may be, you can tell it's not geared towards a nurse practitioner. So when I first sent her an email to like let her know like, hey, don't really know where you're getting your questions from, or don't really know how you're approaching the subjects or like the drug classes, because our first test wasn't even on any drug class. It was all on like pharmacokinetic, pharmacodynamics, and like chemistry based. Yeah, I struggled in chemistry. I had a tutor for chemistry because I didn't understand it. So this stuff went completely like over your girl head. I was like, child, I don't know, I don't get it. Like it was a lot. So I just, you know, charged the first grade to the game, and I was like, okay, whatever, I'ma just focus on this next exam. So next exam come around, when I tell you guys, I did PICMONIC, I did, I have so many pages of notes. I read every single last page of that book, whether I understood it or not. I used supplemental YouTube videos because I was like, I just don't understand some of this stuff, because it wasn't like patient presents A, B, C, D, and E, what would you prescribe and why. It's just like a whole other like ball game that I just don't get. So I'm like, some of the stuff was easy because I deal with like critical care medications, and there's medications that I've dealt with, but some of it I was like, bro, I've never even heard of this medication, and this medication is nowhere in our textbook. Where are you getting the information from? So yeah, that's kind of how the second test went. So I didn't feel confident. I had contacted her again before exam 2, and I still didn't get any response. So I didn't really feel confident going into the test. So I took the test anyways. Did not get my grade back for a week. When I tell y'all I stopped the like my grade section of my Pharm class every single day, like 5 times a day. I was checking my emails, because then after the exam, I was like, look, I did not feel confident in that test. I've already tried to contact you once, and you know, I got no response. So I started asking her, is there any supplemental books? Is there any tutors available? Do you have any TAs? Because she doesn't even have an adjunct professor, so she's the only person I can contact in this class. So I was like, well, do you have any TAs? Do you have anybody that you can recommend for tutoring? Is there any other assistance that I can get? Still didn't get any response. So the day before she released grades, I sent her another email. Still no response. Woke up and I think I was about to get ready for work. All she did was post the grades. No information with it, nothing, just the grades. So of course, like, I bombed the second test. So I was like, bro, I don't even know if there is. So I was like, at this point, I don't even know if there is any room for me to recover in this class. So then, you know, I went to the, like, calculate my grade or something like that, and I figured it out. I can pass the class with an 80. However, we have an evidence-based practice assignment, we have a case study, and we have an exam 3. So those are my, right now I only got 2 grades, and those are my last 3 grades. So I'm confident that I can get like mid to high A's on both of the like written assignments. I have no problems figuring out how to do that and making sure that I do that. However, I would still need like a 92 to 93 on my 3rd exam to pass this class with an 80. I'm like, I can't even get an 80 on 1st and 2nd exam. How am I going to pull a 93 out of my ass? So is there a chance for me to pass the class? Yes. But will I feel like I am ready to prescribe medications as a provider at this point? Absolutely not. So I had been talking to my advisor, because my instructor wasn't getting back to me, and I was like, you know, hey, I don't think I'm passing Pharm, and if I fail this class, like, am I terminated from the program? Like, what happens? Do I have to reapply? Just trying to prepare for a worst case scenario. And so she basically was telling me, like, no, you're not terminated from the program. However, you will not be able to start FNP in the fall. So that means your graduation date will be pushed back a year. So basically then I technically go to like a part-time student. It's basically how my classes would go. So instead of taking FNP 2, I think that I would be able to double up on my graduate electives, because I told you guys I have to do 2 graduate electives. So then once I get into FNP 2, I think I will only have 2 classes. And then in FNP 3, I will only have FNP 3, and that's it. So it just takes me down to a part-time student, and that wouldn't be the worst thing. But what would suck is to have to repeat Pharm, and it is taught the same way. She literally does no lectures, no voice threads. She does not do like PowerPoints with voiceovers. She does not do question and answer. She doesn't do case scenarios, nothing. So basically she gives us these notes that look like they're just standardized notes with like bullet points, 1 pages, and she's like, read chapter 26, and then that's it for the week. The next week, read chapter 28. The next week, read chapter 29. The next week, you know, so on and so on. And then it's like, okay, now all of these chapters are on your exam. Here's your exam date. That's all we get from her. We don't get nothing else. Then we have discussion boards that we do that are mandatory, but we don't get a grade for it. So every single week we have to do a discussion board over, like, she'll ask a question like, if you had a patient that came in taking anti-seizure medications, what would you advise them during the tapering phase of operating vehicles? And that's it. So all I have to do, that question is assigned to me. I have to do that question. Then at the end of the week, whoever in our group decides to post the group response, they post it, and then that's it. She doesn't give us feedback or anything. She just makes sure we do it, and we have to participate. So it's for participation, but there is no participation grade, and we don't even get feedback on if we answer the questions correctly or not. So I'm super frustrated, super annoyed with the class, because this was actually the class that I was looking forward to the most. As an ICU nurse, I often sometimes think some of the orders that the doctors make are stupid. Let's just put it out there. I'm like, why is he ordering this? And it legit could be evidence-based reason why they are ordering this medication versus what I think they should order, but my mind thinks like a critical care nurse. So I wanted this class to explain some of those things to me, like why one drug is chosen over the other drug, or why a combination of drugs are chosen together, or what is first line therapy for this disease process. Why would you prescribe this and not this? You know what I'm saying? So I thought that Pharm was going to teach me how to be a provider and prescribe the correct medications for the correct disease process, and she hasn't given me any of that. And I'm like, I could be a professor doing what she do. I could tell you what you know, chapters to read, and then find a BS test bank and throw some questions together and give you guys an exam and not have to do anything else with you guys. Y'all can pay me for that. I'll do it. Sure will. That's easy money, because I'm not teaching you nothing. I would never actually do that, because I actually like educating people. But if that's all I technically had to do, I'd do it and get paid for it. So after going back and forth with my advisor, I was like, so she basically told me, like, the only way you can keep your same graduation date is if you find a school that will allow you to do Pharm over the summer. So I've been trying to find that. However, New York is its own little country. They have their own rules, regulations, policies involved. So a lot of schools will actually not accept people who live in New York. For example, University of UTA, University of Texas at Arlington, which is where I got my BSN from, which is where I planned on getting my FNP from, just because I like the structure of their program. I like that they break it down into one class at a time. You have one focus at a time, and one class builds on the next. That is personally what I like, and that is how I think every school should be, but whatever. So they actually on their site say if you are a resident of New York, you cannot apply to the school. So if I was to completely bomb out of the school, I would have to move back to Texas or just out of this state in order to go to UTA online and to have preceptors that are available to precept me through UTA in another state. And like New York, they do not allow their providers to precept for outside schools. So I couldn't go to like Walden University being a resident of New York. So that sucks. It sucks a lot. So I've been having a really hard time trying to find another Pharm class. So I let my advisor know that, and she was like, at this point I am really concerned for you, and I think that you should contact the dean. I have heard horror stories about people contacting the dean and going over a professor's head as like reprimand, like they will intentionally fail you because you went to the dean on them. So I literally drafted an email 7 million different ways. My first email was probably not the most professional, so I wrote it when I was angry, but I didn't send it, and I knew better to send an email when I was upset. So I did not send that email, left that in my draft, went back, edited, re-edited, and then edited again, and then sent it to a group of girls that is actually in Pharm with me and was like, hey, how does this sound? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this okay? And once I got like the approval of everybody, was like, that is perfect. You didn't throw anybody under the bus. You stated your concerns. It was more geared towards making you a better future nurse practitioner. I think that is appropriate. Then I sent that email to the dean, because I was doing, and I made sure to CC my advisor, because she is the one who informed me that it was probably a really good idea to contact the dean at this point. So I made sure to also CC my professor, and I did, you know, state that I had tried to reach out to her several times and got no feedback, as well as she sent out a like do not reply message, so you know, like a mass email, and she was like, if you have any comments or concerns about this class, you need to put in and ask the professor. So I had to actually let the class know that your girl is failing the class and probably will fail the class because there's not enough wiggle room for me to recover. And yeah, now everybody knows that. It's like, I will let you guys know that I'm failing, and it's not as bad like showing you guys the ups and downs of a nurse practitioner program, but when you are amongst your peers, which I don't know if anybody that I go to school with even knows that I make YouTube videos, and you have to tell the class like, yeah, guess what, I'm failing. I don't know if any of you guys are failing, but I'm failing, and I will probably not graduate with you guys because of Pharm. That is embarrassing, and it sucks. And you don't want, like, as a future nurse practitioner, and you could potentially collaborate with these people, you don't want them to be like, oh nope, I remember her, she failed pharmacology. Like, that's so, it's just so embarrassing. And I was so upset that I actually had to do that, and I thought it was like very unprofessional of my professor to make me do that in order to get her to respond to my emails, because literally I had sent her, I think, either 3 or 4 emails at that time with no response. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I am just at a point where my anger is now starting to subside, and I am just preparing for whatever is next. If that makes, you know, me have to complete my FNP in 3 years versus 2 years, then so be it. I have an end goal. I have talked to my husband so many times, and he's like, you know, FNP is already yours. You claimed it. It's there. God gave you this passion, and he already has plans for you, so it's already yours. Whether you get it with this school or you get it with another school, it is yours, and there's no point in stressing. And if you have to do it in 3 years versus do it in 2 years, the end goal is still going to be the same, and the end results are still going to be the same. You will still be a nurse practitioner. And he is currently not here, for you guys who are also wondering. He is TDY. So to get that reassurance from him was so good. Like, it was so needed, because I was at home furious. Like, I was ready to just start typing emails like, to whom it may concern. Like, child, do you hear me? Like, I was hot. So I am so thankful for him being able to take some time away from what he is currently doing, to reassure me like, Jasmine, you are okay, and your goal is your goal. You will reach it one way or the other. And it's true. Like, I'm gonna get there, point blank, period. Period. No, I hate when people say that. I just thought it was funny at the time right now. So yeah, that is basically what's going on with school. I am still trying to finish out all the rest of my classes strong. Let me tell y'all, so people were telling me how hard this nursing research paper was, and I worked so hard on it. I put in so much time and so much effort. Your girl got a 99. I was like, what? The only thing she took points off for is because I put my appendix table before my reference page, and it was supposed to go after, but I didn't see that on the Purdue OWL sample paper. So I was like, I don't know. I don't know. So 1 point for that. I was like, yes, honey, give me that 99. I was so hyped. Like, I didn't know how to act. Yeah, I was excited. So I am doing very well in my nursing research class at this point, and I have one more paper, and I have another exam on Wednesday. So as long as I can finish out those strong, I'll be good. And yeah. Can I get a large ice macchiato with coconut caramel swirl and almond milk?
I'm sorry, you said coconut caramel swirl?
Uh-huh. almond milk, and can I get it iced?
Anything else for you?
Nope, that'll be it. So yeah, although I'm very sad about Pharm, and I really hope that if I have to take it again, that the dean and the professor take some of my considerations of maybe lectures, making it in like a class, like a face-to-face class, or like voiceover PowerPoints, case studies, a different textbook that is geared towards nurse practitioners. So hopefully they take that into consideration. So if I do have to take it for a second time, it's better for me as a future provider. So that is where I am at right now, and I like everything else. I killed my OSCE. Like, I got an 88 on it. I wanted a 90, but there was a couple of things that I forgot that I knew I forgot, and I realized it as soon as I walked out the room. But OSCEs are so freaking intimidating and scary, and my girl was nervous, so she was making me nervous. She was shaking, and I think she was forgetting some of the things that she was supposed to say, and she couldn't remember the medications that she was supposed to be on. So she kind of freaked me out, and then I was already freaking out before I went in there. So yeah, other than that, it is what it is. Coffee is in hand, and literally I'm like right down the street from my job. So this is going to conclude this car chit chat drive vlog, explain to you what's going on in Pharm. Yeah, that's gonna conclude this. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you subscribe. Make sure to thumbs this video up, and I hope eventually I can become more consistent when school starts to die down. So until the next vlog, I'll see all you hunts later. Don't forget to boss up and conquer. Mwah.
It's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate. Choppers a throwaway. Hustle the